We did a video recently on why it's important to get a weight shift back before you have the horse come forward. And one of the comments that we got was somebody asked how to do this under saddle. So the reason it's so important to get your horse to shift their weight back before they go forward is it makes them come from their center and come from their core instead of just leaning on the shoulders and then falling forward. So when you're doing work in hand, it's important to get that weight shift back. And when you're riding, it's also very important to get that weight shift back. Anytime you pull on your horse, that's using your arm strength to draw backwards. Also doing this kind of stuff with your wrist is a form of pulling too. Whenever you pull, you start to disconnect the horse. So if you pull, the horse is going to expel that energy by camping their back legs behind. The reason this is important when you're asking the horse to do the weight shift back is that you want to think about closing your fingers and stretching up. So when you close your fingers and you stretch up, this is not pulling. What pulling is the starting of using your arms. When you ask the horse to shift their weight back, you're going to come to touch with your reins. So it's really important to have a good rein adjustment. Because see, if my reins are overly loose, if I close my fingers and I stretch up, see, it doesn't have a very big reaction with the horse because it's not changing the bit. So there I was doing it on the right rein, but see here I can do it on the left rein, and you can see that it's not changing the bit. Now this horse is very well trained, so you can see him thinking like, I think she's trying to say something, so he'll go better on a loose rein. But when you're training a horse, you can't get it on that loose of a rein. So the important thing is to come to touch on your reins, but not so much that you start to dent the corner of the horse's lip. And then once you have a good adjustment, you want to make sure that your fingers are open with a good adjustment. Not like this, because then you can't open your fingers anymore, and not like this, because you can't close your fingers anymore. So you have this soft, neutral feeling with your hand, and then within that soft, neutral feeling, I'm going to do it on my right hand. I close my fingers and I stretch up. Now look, it didn't work and his head came up, which is part of what should happen, but I didn't get a weight shift back. So then I'm going to just readjust my reins just a little bit. I close my fingers. I got the weight shift back, and then I open my fingers and he goes forward. So we'll go ahead and do it again. I'm going to ask him to stop. So notice I needed to shorten my reins because I closed my fingers and I stretched up and it didn't work. So I'm going to close my fingers. And I close my fingers and stretch up, put the weight shift back, and then open my fingers and speed forward. So what we call this is the reverse half halt. The original question was, why do we get our horses to shift their weight back before we ask them to come forward? And again, it's because we want to have them prepared to carry the weight. We don't want them to just lean on the shoulders and have their shoulders starting the movement, because if they lean on their shoulders and their hoof is behind their shoulders, they're already starting to fall. And when they're doing that and you're on them, you're going to feel like you need to catch them with the reins. So it's about getting that weight shift back before you then open with your hands and let the horse go forward. And again, we call this aid the reverse half halt, which is one of our 4 primary aids.